Erya lived a simple life in a quiet village, far removed from the affairs of the gods and their wars. Yet from a young age she had heard whispers in her mind, mysterious voices that seemed ancient and powerful. These whispers had always unnerved her, but they grew louder with each passing year, as if something was waiting to be awakened inside her. She often ignored them, thinking they were nothing more than dreams or tricks of her mind. One evening, while wandering the forest near her village, the voices became overwhelming, urging her to a hidden cave. She had never seen the place before, and a strange energy pulsed within its stone walls. Inside, she found an ancient stone tablet, covered in markings that glowed faintly. As she touched it, the voices spoke clearly for the first time. "You are the key. The time has come to free us." Confused and terrified, Erya pulled back. The voices explained that they were the Titans, ancient beings who had once ruled the world before the gods of Olympus imprisoned them. The Titans had been wronged, cast down by their own children, the Olympian gods, and now they sought Erya's help to reclaim their rightful place. They told her that she was their descendant, the one prophesied to free them. Erya returned to her village shaken. That night her dreams were filled with visions of the great Titan Kronos, bound in chains, pleading for her help. He showed her images of a world where the Titans ruled, and it was one of peace, strength, and order, until the gods led by Zeus betrayed them. In the dream, Kronos told her that freeing the Titans would restore balance to the world. When she awoke, Erya felt the weight of destiny pressing upon her. She had always known that she was different, but now she understood why. The Titans were calling to her, and though she was afraid, she couldn't ignore their plea. The gods had ruled for too long, and if the Titans were right, the world was in need of change. With a heavy heart, she decided to embark on a journey that would forever alter her life. As Erya set out on her journey to discover the truth about her lineage, the whispers of the Titans grew stronger, guiding her toward hidden truths. Along the way, she encountered others who, like her, had heard the call of their ancient ancestors. Lixus, a wanderer with the power to command the seas, joined her first. Then came Maya, a strong-willed woman with a keen sense of justice and the ability to bend the balance of nature. Finally, they met Tyrion, a quiet warrior whose raw strength rivaled that of the ancient Titans themselves. Together, they learned more about their heritage as descendants of the Titans. The deeper they delved into ancient texts and forgotten stories, the more they realized that their abilities were tied to the prophecy of the Titan-blooded, a chosen few who would rise to free the Titans from their prison in Tartarus. Erya's power, linked to the Titan of Light, Hyperion, began to grow. She could summon light to illuminate the darkest corners and blind her enemies. Lixus learned to control water with precision. Maya's sense of balance became more profound, and Tyrion's strength grew to immense levels. However, the group soon discovered that the gods were aware of their prophecy and their mission. As they trained, a messenger from Olympus appeared before them. Hermes, the fleet-footed god, warned them to turn back. They were being led astray, he said. The Titans are dangerous, and freeing them will only bring ruin to the world. Return to your lives before it's too late. But Erya refused. The voices of the Titans had shown her visions of a world where they had been wronged. They had been betrayed by the gods, and it was her destiny to free them and restore balance. Doubts gnawed at her, but the call of her ancestors was too powerful to ignore. She knew that the path ahead would be dangerous, but with Lixus, Maya, and Tyrion by her side, she believed they could succeed. The journey to free the Titans had only just begun, and they would soon face obstacles far greater than they had ever imagined. Erya and her companions continued their perilous journey toward Mount Olympus, the seat of the gods' power. The closer they came, the more difficult their path became. The gods, aware of the threat they posed, sent monsters and challenges to test their resolve. Each obstacle forced them to confront their inner fears and doubts. Lixus struggled with the desire for revenge against Poseidon, but long oppressed his family. Maya questioned whether their cause was truly just, while Tyrion was torn between loyalty to his companions and the fear of losing himself to the overwhelming strength of his Titan blood. Erya, as their leader, bore the heaviest burden. The voices of the Titans were relentless, pushing her forward, telling her that she was their chosen one. But with every step, her uncertainty grew. What if the gods were right? What if freeing the Titans would only bring destruction? She kept her doubts hidden from her companions, afraid of what it might mean if she faltered now. Their journey was interrupted by Athena, goddess of wisdom and war, who appeared before them on the road to Olympus. Unlike Hermes, she did not simply warn them, she sought to understand their motives. "Why do you seek to free the Titans?" Athena asked, her voice calm but piercing. "Do you believe the world will be better under their rule? Do you think they are just?" Erya, though conflicted, stood her ground. The Titans were wronged. The gods betrayed them and imprisoned them out of fear. We seek to restore balance. Athena's eyes narrowed. The Titans seek only power. They will destroy all in their path, including you. The confrontation ended in battle, with Athena testing their strength and resolve. Though the group fought valiantly, Athena proved to be a formidable opponent. It was only through the combined effort of all four that they managed to hold their own. Though they could not defeat her, in the end Athena allowed them to continue, but her parting words weighed heavily on them. You may believe you fight for justice, but you're playing into the Titans' hands. You will see the truth when it's too late. As they pressed on, Erya couldn't shake Athena's warning. Was she truly leading her friends down the right path, or was she walking them into their doom? The final stretch of their journey brought Erya and her companions to the very gates of Tartarus, the prison that held the Titans for millennia. The air was thick with tension as they approached the colossal gates, carved from obsidian and bound with chains forged by Hephaestus himself. The sight alone made Erya's heart race. The whispers in her mind became deafening as the Titans called to her, urging her to act quickly. Free us, the voices commanded. You are the key. Unlock our chains, and we will restore the world to its rightful order. Erya hesitated for a moment, doubt creeping in. Belixis, Maya, and Tyrion stood by her side, each determined to see the prophecy fulfilled. With their combined power, they began to dismantle the seals that kept the Titans imprisoned for so long. The ground trembled and the air crackled with energy as ancient locks shattered and chains fell away. One by one, the Titans emerged from their prisons. Kronos, Hyperion, Oceanus, and the others rose to their full, towering heights, their presence both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Their eyes gleamed with millennia of suppressed rage and power. For a brief moment, Erya felt pride. She had freed her ancestors, and now they would reclaim their place in the world. But as the Titans stepped forward, Zeus descended from the sky in a storm of thunder and lightning. His face was grim, and his voice boomed across the battlefield. You have made a grave mistake, child, he said, his tone filled with both fury and sadness. The Titans are not your saviors. They have used you, just as they once used us. Erya's heart sank as Zeus revealed the truth. The Titans had once devoured their own children, the gods, in their quest for power. They had no interest in balance or justice. They sought only dominion to rule over mortals and gods alike, and Erya had been their unwitting pawn. The Titans, now free, turned to Erya with cold, calculating eyes. They no longer needed her. They had their freedom, and now they would take back the world by force. The war between gods and Titans had begun. The ground shook beneath Erya's feet as the Titans took their first steps in the world after centuries of imprisonment. Their power was immense, and with each movement, the earth trembled as if it were bowing to their will. The sky darkened, and the very air seemed to pulse with the intensity of the forces now unleashed. Zeus stood before Erya and her companions, his face hardened by the weight of what was to come. This war had been brewing for millennia, he said, casting a glance at the Titans, who were already preparing to engage the gods. We knew it was only a matter of time before the prophecy was fulfilled. Erya looked on in horror. She had thought she was bringing balance to the world, but instead, she had set the stage for its destruction. Her chest tightened as the realization dawned that everything she had believed was a lie. The Titans cared nothing for balance or justice. They desired only dominion, and now they were free to reclaim it. The gods were not standing idly by. As Zeus readied his thunderbolts, Poseidon emerged from the depths of the sea, his trident gleaming as he summoned great waves to crash against the Titans. Hades appeared from the shadows, his command over the underworld sending tendrils of darkness to blind the Titans' legs. Yet even with the might of the Olympian gods, the Titans were not easily subdued. Hyperion unleashed beams of blinding light that scorched the earth, while Oceanus called forth tidal waves to combat Poseidon's strength. Atlas, with his immense power, clashed with Hades, each strike causing the ground to split beneath their feet. The battle was unlike anything Erya had ever seen, an apocalyptic struggle that threatened to tear the world apart. Erya stood frozen, her mind reeling from the chaos she had unleashed. Her companions Lixis, Maya, and Tyrion looked at her for guidance, but she had none to give. The Titans, who had once seemed like saviors, were now revealed to be monsters, and the gods, once her enemies, were now the only hope for stopping them. Zeus turned to Erya, his eyes filled with both fury and pity. You have been deceived, he said, but it is not too late. You must help us if we are to stop them. Erya's heart raced. She had made a terrible mistake, and now the fate of the world hung in the balance. But could she truly trust the gods? Could she fight alongside them to stop the very beings she had freed? You must understand now, Zeus began, his voice steady but laced with urgency. The Titans were not imprisoned because we feared them for their power. We imprisoned them because they were a threat to all creation. They devoured their own offspring, us, and they seek to consume the world once more. They are not here to restore balance, Erya. They seek only to destroy and rule over everything. Erya felt her heart pound in her chest as Zeus' words sank in. She had freed the Titans, believing they had been wronged, but in truth they were the monsters the gods had warned her about. She looked at the devastation they were causing, the mountains crumbling and the sky blackening with storm and fire, and she realized how blind she had been. "You are one of us," Zeus continued, his voice softening. "You are descended from the gods, not the Titans. They used you to gain their freedom, but you can help us stop them." Tears welled up in Erya's eyes as she looked at the destruction she had brought upon the world. The gods, whom she had thought to be her enemies, were now her only hope for stopping the chaos she had unleashed. Could she truly fight against the beings she had once sought to free? Zeus extended his hand to her, his eyes full of determination. "We cannot stop them without you, Erya. You have the power of the Titans, but you also have the heart of a mortal. You can right this wrong. Join us, and we may yet save the world from their destruction." Erya hesitated, her mind spinning with guilt, fear, and uncertainty. But as the ground shook beneath her and the roars of the Titans echoed around them, she realized that she had no choice. The world would fall into ruin if she did not act. With a deep breath, Erya took Zeus's hand. "I'll fight," she said, her voice steady. "I'll help you stop them." Zeus nodded, his expression one of grim resolve. "Then we stand together." As the gods and Erya prepared for the final battle, the sky darkened further and the earth trembled beneath their feet. The war between gods and Titans would decide the fate of the world, and Erya, once a pawn in the Titans' game, will now play a crucial role in the fight to save it.